Hey, good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. Yep, how's everyone doing? Yep, sure you're doing just fine. Anyway, me? Oh, I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I'm doing great. What I want to talk about today? Yep, there was an article yesterday or the day before where I guess UGA was rated or ranked the most overrated college football team in America over the last decade, or 10 to 15 years. And lots of people have asked me what I think about that. So during the course of this video, I'm going to let you know what I think about that. And a disclaimer here in the beginning. Don't cut the video off halfway through when you get pissed off at me. Just watch the whole thing, okay? Some of you people get so mad if I say anything other than UGA is rainbows and unicorns. Some of you get irritated and a little bit pissed off too. Watch the whole video and then you can, judge after that if you need to, or if you want to, if you feel like you have to, because I already know that you're going to. So is UGA the most overrated team in America over the last 10 to 15 years? Well, that depends. It depends on what you mean or what your criteria is for overrated. Now, UGA, in my opinion, UGA has been good enough to play or win a national title 3 times in the last 15 years. Now, that doesn't mean that I think they should have won a national title 3 times in the last 15 years. That's not the way it works. Any given year in college football, there's a handful of teams that are good enough to play for or win a national title if certain things go certain ways. Now, UGA does have some built-in excuses, if that's what you want to call it. We have had injuries, and every team has injuries. I understand that. But we've had multiple seasons where our best player has gone down for the whole year. There's seasons we lost Gurley. There's seasons we lost Nick Chubb. I could go on and on with the injuries. I don't have to rehash that. Now, that's not an excuse, really. That's just sort of reality. You can overcome something like that, but for it to happen year after year, you can make of that what you will. But the bottom line is, I would say that UGA is the best team in America not to win a title in the last 15 years. So if you consider that a knock on UGA, then, it is what it is. That's my opinion. I don't think there's a better team in college football that has not won a national title. So that can be good and bad. Now, to say someone is overrated is a product of expectations, see? You take Tennessee, for example. If Tennessee's expected to win 7 games and they win 8, were they overrated? No. If UGA is expected to win 11 or 12 and they win 10, is that overrated? Well, yeah. Which would you rather be? Which would you rather be? Would you rather be expected to win 6 or 7 games and struggle to make a bowl? Or would you rather be expected to make the college football playoff and only win 10 games? Which would you rather? I'd rather be UGA. I want UGA to be in a situation where they're expected every year to compete for the SEC. And if we don't win the SEC in a given year and that means we underachieved, well, then we underachieved. I would much rather be in that boat than the Tennessee boat or whatever. The list could go on. The point is, how many college football teams are there now? 140? There's 125 that would change places with UGA in the blink of an eye. The blink of an eye. UGA is a top 15 program nationally. I'm not talking about right now or any one particular year. I'm not saying that. I'm saying over the last 10 or 15 years, UGA is a top 15 team. Okay? In number of wins, we've made something like 18 bowl games in a row. I could go on and on. We played and won in major bowls. We won BCS games. We have 2 SEC championships this century. Some teams don't have any, Tennessee. But, so I don't know if I necessarily agree that UGA is the most overrated. I would say that they're maybe the most disappointing team over the last 15 years based on expectations. It's tricky. Like I said, it depends on how you want to calculate overrated. I said earlier, I think we've been good enough at least 3 years to play for or win a national title. That doesn't mean we should have won them all of those years, but we should have we should have at least done it once. Out of those, over the last 15 years, we've been a great program. 3 of those 15 years, I think we had a team good enough to play for or win the national title. We should have put ourselves in position to do that at least one of those 3 years. At least. Now, why didn't we? Like I said, I don't want to get into the thing where you start naming a bunch of excuses, but we did have some injuries some years. Coaching cost us some years. There's zero question or doubt about that. And that problem is gone. We'll see what Kirby Smart's going to do if he can get us over the hump. I say this all the time to Tennessee fans who like to brag that they've improved every year under Butch Jones. It's really, look, any idiot that can read a chart can go from 5 wins to 7 wins to 9 wins. It's not that hard to get from 5 wins to 9 wins. It's really not that hard. Now, going from 9 or 10 wins, which is where UGA is stuck at, to 11, 12, 13, 14, even 15, if anybody ever manages to do that, that is hard. That is hard. To go from 10 wins to 12 or 13, you have to start beating top 5 and top 10 teams on a consistent basis, or at least every year you've got to beat one. I mean, that's just the way it is. When you're in the SEC, you're going to play top teams every year. If you can't beat them, you're going to be stuck in the 9-10 win area. That's just the way it is. Tennessee's lost 24 straight to top 10 teams, but I digress. I have to. So, anyway, I sort of agree with the premise of the article that UGA has underachieved, based on expectations. I don't really see how you can argue the opposite. How many years were we picked to win the East and you let Mizzou win it? It's just sad and embarrassing. Tennessee and Florida dominated us in the 90s. They've been in the toilet a lot lately, and UGA did not capitalize on the opportunity. It's going to be a lot harder. I'll say this. It's going to be a lot harder now for UGA or any team to win the East, because Tennessee and Florida, Tennessee especially, is not as bad as they have been over the past 7 or 8 years. They are a better team. They're not a great team, but they're a better team. So it's going to be harder to do it. That doesn't mean we can't. I trust Kirby. I believe in Kirby. We've got the talent on the team to do it. So we'll see. Anyway, that's my thoughts and my opinion. If you hate me or hate my opinion, be sure and let me know, because those kinds of things matter to me. Anyway, have a good morning if you can.